Okay, so I changed it up a little bit. Chris, if you're listening, you didn't get your cheer this time, so you can call me and say, dude, I need to hear the cheer. For everybody else, you have no clue what I'm talking about. That's fine. But yes, we don't have the cheer. We had the drum roll this time. So this is going to be a funny statement as we move into today's topic. So you've heard me say, and I will probably harp on it throughout this entire presentation because I do every single time. I have talked to thousands and thousands and thousands of cleaners, carpet cleaners, duct cleaning, pressure washing, maid service, the industry I'm in, the industry I've ran for 30 years, the industry I've coached for 20 years, the industry I've done digital services in for 15 years or so, and carpet cleaner marketing masters for 7 now, 6, 7. Anyways, and I will tell you straight up 100% of the time, if you're a cleaner and your phones are slow, you don't have a lead problem. You don't. Which is funny because we're going to talk about LSA, local service ads, which is a very interesting lead source when you get it right. But I have not met a cleaning company that's not growing that has a lead problem. They literally have a business building problem. And I want to kind of nuance that through this conversation. If you don't believe me, hopefully by the end of this conversation, you do. Go back to some of the other podcasts, buy the book on Amazon. Like there's a whole bunch of jump into Clean Facts Magazine. Me and my buddy Jeff Cross, we talk every single month or a couple times a month sometimes about all of this stuff. A little bit shorter segments there on Clean Facts, ISSA, the association we should all be members of, by the way. Join the ISSA. But yeah, what most people don't realize is that you can't outrun a bad business with more leads. There is no cheap source of leads. There are a lot of cheap customers that you will find at inexpensive lead sources, Bark, Thumbtack. Oh my gosh, if that's even on your radar, stop right now, learn the business you're in, readjust. That's not the business you're in. 100% not the business you're in. I have never met a successful service business owner, home service business owner, carpet cleaner who chases leads to grow. So there's a lot to unpack there, but what you need is a forever engine. We are in the client building, client retention business. That's what cleaning is. We want to come back to the same home 1 or 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 times. We want to get $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 out of our clients. So we need to target the ideal clients. We talked about that in June on the June call about, the mid-year reset and stuff like that and setting your goals. So go back to that one if you haven't. Like if any of this is, if you're going, amen, John, preaching to the choir, cool. We're going to have a great time here today. If any of I just said went, I don't know if I believe him, go learn. Because literally the numbers you always have to remember, 15 to 0.5. 15% of carpet cleaners ever get out of the truck. 85% stay solopreneurs, whether they want to or not. At some point, they justify it. They didn't come into business to work harder and then also be stressed at night and wonder how to get accounts receivable and bills and blah, 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 and deal with all. They'd rather just go to work, jump in a van that somebody else pays for and maintains and fixes and doesn't, engine problems. That's their fault, not their problem, not mine. Take a paycheck, come home, hang out with the family, cook hamburgers, steak on the barbecue, have a good weekend and all that. That's not what business owners do. So if you're going to be a business owner, you have all of the stress and all of the risk. Where does the reward come from? Well, the reward comes from building a great business that needs less and less of your time to make the same amount or more money and builds you something at the end that you can sell for more than 2% of cleaners sell their business for more than the price of the truck. Right? Other key point. You can sell a 1 and 2 truck business for hundreds of thousands, $500,000, a 3-4 truck business for $1 million and plus. We've got some clients that are growing to that, $10 million mark, 10, 12 million, so they can sell to private equity for 25, 30 million because they built a great system business. That might not be you. That's totally fine. What if you wanted to be one guy in a truck with a helper who's going to take over the business maybe someday. So profit sharing, something like that. You bought your building, you've got your exit plan, you're going to make $500,000 on the way out or whatever for a great run systemized business. The E-Myth Michael Gerber 101, go learn that. You've built all of the systems where you don't need to be the guy in the truck if you don't want to be, and you still make your paycheck. You can be the guy in the truck if you want to be on the lawn, love meeting customers and the physical activity of it. Great. That's working in the business. You still have to work on the business, or you can go get a job. My technicians made 60 to 80,000 and above 10 years, 15 years ago as carpet cleaning technicians. So if you want a paycheck of 120, 150,000 a year as being a business owner and a little bit of prestige amongst your buddies in the neighborhood and stuff like that, that's a business systems. That is learning one step at a time and implementing and growing. And 2026 has exposed a massive amount of problems because a lot of the people that I talk to didn't go through 2008, 9, 10 recession, don't know what it means when the phone dries up because there's less and less and less people thinking about using their discretionary income to clean the couch the second time this year because the kids spilt popcorn and pop on it, or doing the carpets or whatever. The right clientele are doing that even more. They're richer than ever before, and have gotten richer than ever before in the last 5 years because of stock and being in the market and stuff like that, running businesses of their own that have grown and stuff like that. The average consumer is feeling pinched. When they feel pinched, they hold back. When they hold back, the best marketer wins. So we're going to talk about marketing today because the best marketer wins. Again, not lead gen, marketing. Marketing is a big topic, but when you market well, you generate a sales conversation. They don't happen on their own. Once you generate a sales conversation, if you're good at learning how to have a sales conversation, you've scripted it, you've thought it through, you've rejigged it. If you work with AI right now, you know that it comes up with a bad answer. How would you do that better next time? How would you do that better? Next thing you know, it self-iterates, proves every iteration is better and better and better and better and better. I have 7 agents running right now, building a whole bunch of different things for me as we're talking because they're getting better and better and better. And now they need less and less of my attention to help me with a whole bunch of stuff, right? So that's how scripts work. That's how business works. You do good is good enough, and then you iterate to get better, 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 best, best, best. So good, better, best, right? So marketing generates sales conversations. Great sales conversations generate a one-time customer that you can impress the crap out of and get a decent amount of money for. If you have a $300 job average, I could show you how to get a $600 job average from your marketplace. We've got clients that are getting $800, $1,000 residential job averages in markets where they've got competitors $99 for 3 rooms and a hall. You do not need to run $99 3-room and a hall ads. No carpet cleaner does. In fact, every carpet cleaner does has a rusty van, eventually. Straight up. I've talked to thousands of them, right? This isn't common knowledge. If it is common knowledge, it's not put in practice or in place. Only 2% ever sell the business for anything more than the truck. Only 0.5% get to the point where they can retire out of the business, usually about $1 million or up, 7-figure business, where they're not needed. They have a general manager. They can go and build another business, go to the golf course, do whatever. And they're running an enterprise that they monitor the numbers and have growth, right? They can grow to buying other businesses because they've figured out the machine. We don't have to go through university to figure this out. I painfully missed the final month. High school, did not get my high school diploma because I was Ron Wooden of Rolling Stones cover band and did that and then our own band for years and stuff like that. Did the whole thing, tried to become rock star famous and didn't work out. Drummer got his girlfriend pregnant. Lead singer left for another band, all that whole story. And I started a cleaning company as a shy kid that hated talking to people. So I moved to a brand new town. So if I can do it, as I always say, and got to $10,000 a month within the first year in 1995 to 1996, was out of the truck within 18 months and started buying other businesses with no money. I started my entire business with an S10 pickup truck. I'll show you the picture someday. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And that's what we're going to talk about here today. So you don't have a lead problem. You have a business building problem, right? Leads are not the same as real growth, but we're going to show you that when you have a good machine, where that fits in.
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
I'm going to do something a little scary because I have been talking about AI and robotics being this massive wave that what we have to do as business owners is not put our head in the sand and go, oh, no, that's crap. That's not real. Don't put our head in the sand. Actually recognize what's really going on around us. Don't believe the media. Be real about what's happening and understand what does that mean. SWOT analysis. What's your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. AI is a threat. It's a great equalizer. All your competitors can all look like you, right? It's a great equalizer. So you want to have a first mover advantage. We teach that in our coaching program, AI, every single week, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff of how to run your business like Grandpa did. What's old is new again, and then how to use all the new stuff and all of that so that you have a momentum and accountability, right? But robotics is real as well. I want to show you that this is not, I just want to show you, this is not an AI generated video. This is actually what's happening in China right now, and not just China. There's other labs. There's a lab in that builds these in the United States that has sent over 10,000 similar, all black. Go look at those movies we all watched as kids. Oh my gosh, they're real now. Robots that go with the Ukrainian army to flush out buildings and stuff like that. They're not allowed to carry guns right now because they don't know what they're going to do with them. But watch this. I'm just going to play the beginning of this. That part I found the funniest. Look at it. It's leaning over the car like I used to do when I was a kid, fixing my old 68 Beaumont, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, so there you go. So why did I share that? Well, let me stop that video. Because threats are real. Business is hard. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Threats are real, right? So we want to make sure that you understand what we mean when I say poles in the water, what we mean by when I say you can't be victim of one lead source, what I mean when I say you have to have a forever engine that you put great front end into, right? There's a right way to do it. So today we're going to be talking about local service ads, how they've changed, how AI has changed them forever, and what's going on right now. So if that makes sense, let's carry on. If I can find the right, there we go. I have too many monitors. Turn off your cell phones. Turn off your Facebook. Well, if you're watching this on your cell phone, keep your cell phone on. If you're cleaning home service business and you're serious about actually figuring out how to grow a business, not all the things you think that is true, right? False beliefs, we're all victim of it. It's a human condition. We believe we know the truth. The more we learn, the less certain we are about something. Right. So there's a principle that the less you know about something, the more ignorantly confident you are about it. Not ignorantly as in rude. I mean, just like you're not aware of what you don't know. The more, and it's actually, so it's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Again, kid didn't graduate high school. These are things that we learned since. Up, right, down, all of a sudden there's despair. Oh crap, I know nothing, or I know so much now, I don't know anything about the subject. Then you learn and you get to a point of understanding, hopefully mastery, if it's something you're interested in. And then you never get to that level where you are ignorantly confident that I have the right answer, everybody else is wrong. The best answers are found by the best operators behind the scenes, under the rug, in the corners, in the cracks and crevices that they won't show and tell you. Right? Did you know that, again, for example, the best tree services get most of their inquiries and new customers from direct mail? Most tree service companies don't know that. My friend Braden figured that out, built an entire multi-million dollar business on doing direct mail a very specific and certain way for tree services because he talked to enough tree services and then reverse engineered, figured it out. Couple years of iteration and technology later has created an amazing system that would take other people a lot of time to try and replicate. Blue Ocean figured it out, right? So what is it that the best service providers, carpet cleaners or otherwise, do, HVAC, plumbing, whatever, that the one guy in a truck who never got out of the truck didn't do? We're going to talk about that today. Some of that. So what's new in LSA in 2026? How has AI fundamentally changed local search? AI has changed the way people find cleaners, their service providers entirely. And it's going to change in the next month or two again. Google's algorithm completely changed May 8th. Completely changed. LSA changed last summer, August last year. Fundamentally changed. If you're doing the same things and you didn't know anything I just said, get with somebody who knows what I just said. The biggest LSA mistakes will cost you all kinds of growth in your business. Turning LSA inquiries into book jobs and lifetime value. This is always your goal. It's not an afterthought. In fact, you need to put that in first. How do you get more money more often, then build more customers? More customers will not grow your business if you're not targeting the right people that can give you more money more often. You are literally spinning your wheels and staying busy in work that will put you out of business, or at least keep you broke. Right? So that sounds like a lot of bold claims, John. Why should we trust you? Well, if you don't know me, been in the industry since I was a kid, told you a little bit about the story. I have consulted for 20 years. I've been flown around the world. I've taught call centers at franchise networks and you name it, how to answer phones better and get higher booking percentages with psychological scripts. Why does John Clendenning know psychological scripts? Because I wanted to write better ads, and I learned that you should read the book Persuasion and Influence by Robert Cialdini, Dr. Robert Cialdini. They don't even allow it in prisons because you could probably influence the guard in letting you out. 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, not allowed in prisons because it creates, you understand how the human condition works, right? E-myths and systems and neuro-linguistic programming, learned it from Richard Bandler, the founder of it. So it's just Tony Robbins, his entire business is neuro-linguistic programming. He built $1 billion empire learning how to talk behind a person's blockages and I'm afraid of spiders. Okay, can you picture this box, close your eyes, blah, 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 shoot it to the moon, blah, 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 create this state, create the state, create the state. Cool. I've now got a spider walk on your arm. You go, oh, it wouldn't happen to me. It does. That's how people walk on fire. That's how, right? It's a mindset, not a reality. He's all about breaking your mindset to get to the truth, not for malicious purposes. We're not talking Charles Manson and Summer of Love and cults. We're talking about, can we influence a client or a customer calling to choose us because we literally offer a better service and we know how to explain that in a way that gets past their filters and radars. We know how to educate them that leads all the way towards us, either on the call or in a nurturing sequence afterwards, right? That's all I have learned, wrote books on, am the guy, run a podcast about. Oops, I really like when that drags across. I clicked on it too soon. It's kind of a new, cool little feature. And again, talk about it on the industry stage and consider an industry leader because of it. What I care more about is that I help these people learn enough of it to be scary dangerous. Because what do? We make our clients the top cleaning brand in their local marketplace. If they'll come along, we call it done together marketing. There is no marketing company that will do it for you. If that's the case, they should take over the business and make all the money, because that doesn't make any sense to build you $1 million enterprise business without having you know how to do anything. Somebody else runs it for a couple $1,000 a month, right? That's not a real world. An agency and a growth partner should be there to help guide you, give you direction, give you understanding, and you should get out of your own head and out of your own way and go, wow, if I believe this source, probably should follow along, because what I've been doing to this point isn't getting the results I want. These other people have the results. And this guy knows how to get you there, or this company, or this growth partner, this strategy. It is a strategy. Most people get in their own way. I just happened to not finish high school. I just happened to be sort of a dumb kid, solid C student that said, I don't know anything, so you show me, and picked it up. I didn't have the blustery confidence that I knew everything. So I had a mentor early on. I invested a lot of money early on. Like I paid Howard Partridge, what, $500-600 a month to be in his inner circle. I paid Joe Polish like $300-400 a month to be part of Piranha Marketing every single month in and I've been masterminds to this day, many of them. I flew to courses and trainings, and not just for the cleaning industry, for better businesses and better leadership. As I learned how to run a business, I had to learn how to operate it better. I had to have coaches and consultants, and like that's what we all do. When you do it, when you realize you don't know, you're a student of the game. You don't know how to play golf, you're a student of the game. You don't know how to play pickleball, you're a student of the game. You don't know how to run $1 million business or grow it to the level you want, you're a student of the game, right? And where do you get your best information? You can get a million pieces of competing information. Source matters. Find your voice, your source, your guru. Lean into that. If you keep finding contrarian views, you literally stay paralyzed, right? So we help our clients attract the best clients, able to charge top rates, booked out for weeks in advance. We do that with 3 simple principles. These are the principles you should run your business, whether you work with us or not. That's not the point of that, my little statement here. Maximize your opportunity to generate a qualified inquiry. Your ideal customer is somebody. It's not everybody. Qualified means they fit your lifetime goal. You know who that is. Then you figure out where they are, and you figure out how to get in front of them. What they look at, what they see, who they listen to, find their influencers, find people that already have their attention, already have their respect, work that system, get endorsement through. Qualified inquiries. Maximize your opportunities to generate those. One pole in the water has nothing to do with the word maximizing. I can show you 47 poles in the water in the next 2 minutes if you wanted me to. All 47 are necessary if you're a multi-million-dollar cleaning business, or if you got $2 million. Most of them are necessary to get over $500,000. If you don't even know what I just said, we need to have a chat. Maximize your brand impressions. If people don't know your brand and your name and what you stand for, they won't buy from you. So this has to happen ahead of time. How do you get LSA ads to work better, pay-per-click ads to work better? Everything you do, yard signs and door hangers and backup buses and. How do you get them all to work? By doing all of them and having a message out in the marketplace, by doing happy customer stories and sharing them into Facebook and Instagram groups and LinkedIn groups and stuff like that, to be a voice in the community, right? Out offline and online. You maximize your brand impressions in front of your ideal target market so that when they are ready for you, which could be 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 3 years from now, damn, those are the guys I'm going with. It's obvious. It's not about price. So this is a growing and building thing. This is what's going to keep businesses in business as the AI apocalypse and those robots take over average jobs. Don't believe me? Call me in a year. Maximize your conversions. Big missing piece. Most people think that I'm good on the phones. Do you have a script? No, I'm just really good. Do you follow up with anybody if they don't book? No, I don't want to bug them, but I'm good. No, what you just told me is you're terrible. Those 3 answers are actually, I'm polite when I talk to clients. The back of my brain is, wow, we've got a lot of untraining to do. You have a bunch of false beliefs. You're fully in the Dunning-Kruger, I know so little, I am confident in my lack of knowledge. I don't even know I don't know, right? Humans do this. It's not an insult. It's just recognize it, confirmation bias, unpack it. Be emotionally aware, right? So you want to maximize your conversions. That means that you want to make sure that you know how to turn more people into customers now and nurturing in the future. That's what makes local service ads work better as well. One of the reasons why it makes everything work better. Brand impressions make everything work better. Local service ads conversions make everything work better. So let's talk about what are Google local service ads. Well, Google local service ads, I'll show you where they are when we get in, but they are Google's pay per lead service. Google noticed years ago that Home Advisors, Thumbtacks, and a whole bunch of others were using Google to rank, or even Google pay-per-click, to get people to their platform, generating their attention, and then selling that lead to 3 or 4 businesses. Lead for hire services all over the place. Lots of them, right? And they would get multiple, and then first person responds, everybody, whatever, you get 3 quotes, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And it's in every industry. And Google said, we own the platform. Why don't we just make the money? And they created local service ads. Google Guarantee is the other word for it, because Google guarantees your work up to $2,000. You have to be vetted. We're going to go through all of that. They have to want you, and then they're going to promote you regardless of how much you want to spend with them. Google's not greedy, much as it seems like it is. They want the best user experience so that they stay the number one platform. They got to be the number one platform by delivering the best search results and user experience. And they want the user, the searcher, to get more of what they want. Thus the AI mode and all of that. They want the searcher to feel so confident in the platform, they keep coming back because of the results they got. So they don't care about you, and they literally don't care about your money. They are flushed with cash. So you want to be seen at the top of Google for the small percentage of people that stop there. Other people stop at the Google ads and like the pay-per-click ads. So pay-per-call, pay-per-lead, pay-per-click, way more sophisticated. You have to understand keywords and ad copy and psychology and landing pages and optimizations. And it's a constantly tweaking system. Local service ads, a little bit less, but comes with its own issues and challenges that we'll talk about here today because of that. Right? So Google Guarantee, Google has a tracking phone number that will never be yours. Why? Because Google only gets paid. They only bill you, take your money off your credit card, when they generate a qualified lead that calls you. If the lead is not qualified, they don't charge you. If the lead is outside of the area you determine, they don't charge you, right? That used to be something you could dispute. We'll talk about that now. Now that's off the table because Google last summer changed the rules. To their benefit, sure, but they changed the rules, right? So they sit at the top. When you click on it, it's Google's page, not your website. But if you notice here, look at how many reviews. Like they prominently show the reviews. You have to be in. You have to have Google Business Profile and reviews, minimum review count, or they won't even let you in the platform. You have to be somewhat competent, right? And then we'll go through all the rest of the criteria as well. But this isn't the most amazing page now, is it? That's the page. Man, you got a very little chance to adjust. So there's a good and a bad that we're going to talk about. Doesn't mean maybe it's not right for me. Nope. It's a great pull in the water for everybody. And it's a great first pull in the water to learn what you are good and not good at before moving on to any other polls. Love local service ads for that. So why it matters. Lots of online consumers for Google. We know that when looking for home services, if they don't have a name in mind already. If they have a name in mind, this doesn't count. They'll look you up. They'll call you. They'll ask chat. They'll do whatever. That's fine. New customers looking on Google, see them right at the top. Doesn't mean everybody stops at the top. I didn't just say, that's 100% of the traffic. No, but they see them. If you show up there, you've got a brand impression, even if they like to go to the maps. They're there again. Even like that business, I just saw them in the top of the page in pay-per-click and the maps, and now I saw them in organic. Let me go read about them, right? AI recommended them because you've got the right content and answers that AI is picking up. So they don't even make it to your website, but it's all fed by your website, your local service ads, your pay-per-click, your Google, your social media, all of that, everything burger, topic for another day. But local service ads come up the top on mobile and desktop. There is no higher intent prospect than somebody who's searching today for a service and Google goes, oh, you want to buy? Then I'll show you my buying stuff. Google doesn't show it to people that aren't looking to buy. It's based on buyer intent keywords. That's who Google shows the ads to. Google picks the keywords. So if they're ready to buy, Google's showing that at the top. You must have a plan to win because your competitors are also know this and to some degree have jumped in. A lot of them just set their ads on, conversion max, right? Or something like that. Limit their budget. I just want you to figure out, hey, Google, you got my credit card and you've got all my competitors' credit cards. Can you take money off my credit card for sending me some leads? And you can pick the price. That's what most people do on their pay-per-click and their local service ads. Yeah, I trust you. You made 89% profit margin last year and $82 billion. Yeah, I still trust you to take the right amount off my credit card and not too much. I don't want to manage it. I don't want to learn it, which is great. You shouldn't. You should be out the door selling. There's a core forever job that you should have running a business. This isn't it. This changes so often. If you figure this out, open up a local service ad or a pay-per-click ad agency. It's that complicated of a topic, right? If you don't believe me, you're at the top of that. Hey, I know so little. I am confidently ignorant. Again, not being rude, ignorant, just mean don't know. Don't know, so I'm so confident it's not a thing. Start learning more. Holy crap. Wow, I can't do this at all. Nobody can do this. Okay. And that's the curve we all need to go through. So what's new in 2026? Local service ads have evolved. Google's local service ads are evolving, right? Search has completely changed. So Google, people search, they see the AI overviews. AI is trying to answer their question before they go anywhere else. Google Maps, local service ads, better results. You want to make sure that you're in the game. AI has transformed how people search. They talk now. They tell big, long, rambling stories to their AI friend. Either that's Gemini in Chrome and Google, or that's ChatGPT, Perplexity, you name it, Claude. I don't care what you use, right? But we're talking on Google, like those local service ads influence none of those other ones. But inside Google, local service ads influence the AI and influence buyer behavior. Customer expectations for speed and trust are higher than ever before. We're going to talk about that as well. If you cannot understand speed to lead, don't run paid ads, local service ads, or any other. You're literally just throwing money away. Hand it to me. Go in the front yard and burn it. Be the crazy neighbor. I don't care. But don't run ads because it isn't going to work. If you're still managing your local service ads the same old way you did a year ago, you are missing out on an opportunity to generate the right intent. The good news is most of these changes are opportunities, not obstacles. You can adapt faster than your competitors because you're on this call and they are not. 5 Google LSA updates every business owner needs to know for 2026. AI has reshaped local search. Google is integrating AI into everything. We know that. We talked about that, right? Trust signals matter more than ever. Google doesn't care how much money you want to give them. They care about you doing the right things the right way. And there is a right way. And there is absolutely a wrong way. Faster response wins more inquiries and jobs. Businesses answer calls quickly and respond to messages promptly, are better positioned to convert. Not only that, Google will demote you, push you way down the list if you're not responsive within 1, 2, 3 rings of a phone call. If you can't answer the phone in 3 rings, don't run local service ads. I recommend don't even run pay-per-click. Don't run anything that's lead generating because customers don't care. Like your repeat clients, so customers one time, repeat clients multiple. Clients might give you grace because you did so good, you followed up so well, you stay in touch with them 2 or 3 times a month. Yeah, I just said that 2 or 3 times a month. Go back to one of the other trainings, right? So you do that well, you are nurtured them to stick around for a long time. You are their guy or gal in this industry. You are their knowledge point, right? They'll give you grace. These people don't know you. They give you 0 grace. Google is improving lead quality. Ongoing improvements in verification, spam detection, lead matching, they are actually changing whether you even show up on one search or another based on AI determining how you answered your phones, what you said, and who that next person should be handed to. Google's strategy, your strategy must evolve. Businesses that adapt to Google's latest updates and use AI to improve the efficiency and make Google go, oh, these guys are freaking amazing. Let me show them even more. Let me rank them better, right? Ranking and results are a factor of you, not them, not even your agency as much. There's things that we can do to really help, but we can only lead a horse to water. We can't make it drink. And if the horse doesn't drink, Google has a problem with you. So yes, local service ads. We've got the AI overview. Then we've got local service ads, sometimes stacked, sometimes side by side. Then we've got pay-per-click, maps, and organic, right? That's where they locate. Why they stand out is because Google has a big guarantee badge on it. Google has vetted you. That's crazy. Reviews are up front. Let's go back to that previous screen. Reviews are up front. They know how you compare against the competitors that are showing alongside you. If there are 20 or 30 or 40 carpet cleaners in your market, depending on the size of your market, and there's only 3 spots, how is Google choosing one over the other? Just think of that for a minute. I want more leads from Google. Let me give them more money. No, your competitors are giving them $10,000 a month. I don't want to give them $10,000. Yeah, maybe you do. That doesn't mean Google puts you in front at all. They don't care about your money. They don't. They are rich enough. The pay per qualified leads. You're charged only when a qualified customer contacts the business. Appear above Google Maps and all that stuff. So it's in the right spot. Not everybody stops there, but it's in the right spot. Different buyers have different ways of using Google. And I'd like to tell you that it's not like, oh, all of my customers go to Google. I just need Google Maps and more reviews. You are so 2024. That changed already. You need everything, burger. That's not what happens anymore. We started transitioning our clients to AI recommendations, AI mentions, AI share of voice as part of our SEO plan. SEO now stands for search everywhere optimization. A year and a half ago, we saw the writing on the wall. So premium placement doesn't necessarily mean as much as it used to. Google doesn't actually mean as much as it used to because there's a shift going on. People use ChatGPT, people use Gemini just on their phone. That's right. There's influencing elsewhere as well. So you have to be a student of marketing, generate that awareness that we talked about. This is one of those places. The cool thing about LSA is you only pay when there's a call, right? So how has AI fundamentally changed? Local search and LSA in the past few months, right? We talked about this. AI reshaped how customers search. Google delivers answers, not serves up sites. Google now is an answer engine. That's why search is way up and clicks to websites are way down. The ones that do show up on the website are really meaningfully wanting to be there. Less garbage, less traffic, more buyer intent. If your website is designed right, if your follow-up, if they message you on a form and you get back to them within a minute by phone or by text or by email, yeah. You wait a day or two, meh. Probably not. More conversation, intent-driven searches. Customers are asking longer, more specific questions. Google understands the context and intent better than ever before. Trust and authority matter more. AI pulls trust sources, not just reviews, real experiences, happy customer stories, and social media interactions, Reddit, other sources like that, where any conversation is happening, it's searching the ecosphere, not just Google. They're not stuck to their own tool because they want the best user experience, not be so arrogant that Only their tool matters. Businesses with strong credibility earn more visibility in local service ads. You show up more when the background of your business proves to Google you are the better choice or one of the better choices in the mix. You're not. Google says, meh, don't care about your money. Away you go. LSA benefits from AI driven matching. They prioritize high intent, ready to book searches. If you answer your phones and you're booking 2 weeks out, Google will suppress you because they know by listening to all the calls and running AI now, not just algorithms, but actual constant improving, getting better and better, that if the average caller in the carpet cleaning world is looking for a job in the next day or two, and your average call is telling people that you booked 2 weeks out, they will not give you the calls. They won't set you up to fail as often because they don't want the buyer, their traffic, to have to call 2 or 3 places. They know you can't help as much as this other guy. So they're going to go to this other guy. That's the AI now. AI now chooses if the call is valid. So you don't get to dispute as much anymore at all. Hi, I'm looking for a house to rent in Santa Monica. Can you help me? I'm really focused for homes for sale, but let me see if we have anyone here who can help you out. What's your blah, 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 blah. Call it. Outcome. Google will likely deny this credit. They won't give you much because you helped. Right? But this one, hi, I'm looking for a house to rent in Santa Monica. Can you help me? I'm sorry, I don't work with rentals, but thank you for giving me a call. This feels like, I want to be a nice human being. LSA, you don't want to be a nice human being. Only because Google will charge you their 40, 50, 60, 80, some services, $100, $200, $300 per phone call to hand off to somebody else. Not worth your budget. Sorry, we don't do that. Google gets that. AI now understands that, learns, doesn't bill you, or at least reverses the billing, helps with that. There's a little bit of work that we can do as an agency to say, and literally pick up the phone and call into a team and all that kind of stuff and try and get some help and adjustment and stuff like that. But for the most part, their AI is getting so much better that it catches a lot of this, right? Outcome will approve this credit, right? Because you explicitly stated that you don't provide the service the caller is looking for. It's also worth noting that all calls under 30 seconds are not charged by Google in the first place. So the sooner you end the call, the better. Interesting point. Most people don't know that one, by the way. Feedback from active users often results in lower cost than pay-per-click. Cost per acquisition. Right? Cost per acquisition. How much should you invest in buying a new first-time customer? In paid world, 3-to-1 return on investment. For every $1,000 you spend, you should get $3,000 worth of work. 1,000 goes back to pay the ad. In our world, 1,000 goes to technician, gas solution, all that to do the job. If you didn't have the job, you wouldn't have it. And the other 1,000 comes into the company to pay bills, leases and vans and rentals and staff and the rest of the staff and all that kind of stuff, insurance, all that kind of stuff. 3-to-1 ROI is a great starting ROI to land a wiggly fish with your pole in the water that you can turn into a lifetime client that will eventually give you 20-to-1 ROI. You won't get 20-to-1 on the front end. There is no magic ad source that you found, that we've found, that no other marketing company or cleaning company or anybody else doesn't have. That doesn't exist. It's competitive. There is no 20-to-1. There's no $20 leads. Carpet cleaning 25 years ago in the Yellow Pages, when I ran call tracking on all of our Yellow Page ads to figure out what ad was working and how much we got from it, you bought customers for $80 to $100. By the time you paid the Yellow Pages every single month, got the calls, and it was the single source of new customer acquisition, or the biggest source, not the single, the biggest source of new. A lot of people went to the Yellow Pages, but if you had a brand awareness, they called you. So you better be doing brand awareness marketing as well, and door hangers and yard signs and all that kind of stuff, and be known way before the days of the internet. And you got more phone book phone calls. That seems weird. Well, I'm getting a lot of calls from the phone book. I don't need to do all that other stuff. I stopped doing all that other stuff. And next thing you know, next year I'm down 50%. I wonder what happened. Maybe the markets just got soft. Nope. You just lost the whole idea of how to run a business. It's all together all at once, right? So the quality of the lead is not necessarily as good, but the cost is lower. There's a reason for that. It says right here, higher quality leads than pay-per-click services. Paper lead services. Absolutely true. Higher quality leads than Home Advisor, Bark, Thumbtack. Absolutely true. These are crap services. Crap. Do not turn them on. Google local service ads, a little bit better. Not great. It's at the very top. At the very top, you get more junk calls as well. We've got some little tricks that we use to try and limit that as much as possible. But understand, whereas a lot of businesses think as long as they've got a budget and they turn it on, I'm just going to get a plethora of phone calls. Oh, I didn't get 100 calls this week. That must be my marketing agency's fault, blah, blah, blah. No, it's a game that you slowly roll into. You understand the game that you're in, right? If all you want is very, very high quality, high end, high intent customers, then you need very, very expensive, very, very dialed in pay-per-click campaigns, local every door mail campaigns, thousands of SEO, let it build over time. You need a very sophisticated marketing system to generate very sophisticated, only high-end clients. And the time it takes to mature that. It's not a light switch. There's no light switch in marketing. It's marketing, not magic. So with local service ads, what you get is volume. You get a lot of ups, as they call it in the auto sales world. You get a lot of ups, a lot of people walking on the lot, right? That's great. How you manage that determines what you do with that. You can make a great ROI and then let the cream rise to the top. Some of those people were never great customers. You got a job out of it. You had a conversation, you do whatever, you dial it in. Other ones turn into lifetime clients. It's great for residential, not so great for commercial work. Just so you know, by the way, it's not really the place that kind of tracks that. So will price shopper, you will get price shoppers, and you must follow up quickly. 20% of consumers are just price shoppers naturally. Some platforms, Groupon, 80% of consumers are price shoppers. 90%, right? We know that. Local service ads, meh. You will get more price shoppers there than you would with organic rankings, because the organic rankings is a thinking person who has moved past all of that and is now doing research, and they've looked into you a bunch of times. That's why you never ask, you don't ask somebody, hey, how did you hear about us? Terrible question. You're going to get a crappy answer. You're never going to get the intel you need to run a better business. Running business is knowing numbers, knowing data, and making data-driven decisions. It's all businesses, right? So math plus psychology. So I always say that's what marketing is, business, all that. So you want to make sure you know your numbers, know what you're doing. The more intentional people want to read, ingest more. That's higher effort. The less effort they put in, the more likely they are price shoppers. That's fine. In that mix is some really good candidates that will give you $10, $20, $30,000 over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. With dialed in conversion scripts, that book, 40% of all jobs, are you tracking? Do you know? If you don't track your booking percentage, repeats, referrals, cold, if you don't track those, you are not running a data-driven business. You're guessing. And you're probably guessing thinking you're right, because you don't have enough information, so you're more confident than you should be, right? The average should be above 350. Why? I can run the math and prove this to you any day. I've got calculators I've built. I can show you that less than that, you don't ROI well enough on the front end, that you better have an amazing back end. So great conversion scripts, great follow-up. A 3-to-1 to 5-to-1 ROI is a great pull in the water. How do you get to 5-to-1 ROI? It's not a better marketing company. That is, yet your average job is closer to $450, $500, and your booking percentage goes north of 50, maybe 55%. Then you have a 5-to-1 ROI. The volume that comes in is still built on doing it right, managing it right, keeping it right. That's fine. But what you return on investment is 100% you. 100% you. Why is it a no-brainer then? John, you sounded like that. Wow, that sounds like a lot of crap. Why is it a no-brainer? Show up at the top. You only pay when somebody calls. Pay per lead. It could be a lower cost customer than pay per click, but you might have to do some customers that will never be your ideal customer and come back. It's a mix, right? That's fine. It's a good pull in the water to generate some wiggly fish. Pull in the water, wiggly fish. The analogy still works, right? That you try and hold on to by great database retention. You're in touch with them 1, 2, 3 times a month forever in a meaningful way, not offers and deals and discounts, but helpful advice. You become the person that gives so much to them. They talk to people about you. You are remarkable, means that they remark about you. Higher quality leads than other paper lead services, absolutely. An ability to modify your budget based on your schedule. If you are booked too far out, I would suggest you either open up some slots that are about 2 days out and just have them available, right? Fill them in with, hey, Mrs. Jones, yeah, we're booking about 2 weeks out right now. What I can do is, you wanted something sooner. Yeah, I get that. I don't really have anything right now, but tell you what, I could put you on a reschedule list. So if somebody has an appointment, needs to reschedule from us, that's what we call it, the reschedule list. We'll call a few people that are interested in maybe bumping up, and usually get about 2 days notice. We require that from all of our clients to give us 48 hours notice if they're not going to be able to make the appointment, or we'll charge our missed appointment fee, just like the dentist does. So yeah. So would you like to be on the reschedule list as well? Why did we always keep a reschedule list? Why did Heather have a list of people on it started on a clipboard, and she just put a line through them and eventually became an Excel spreadsheet? Why did she have a list of that all the time? And all the other gals I had in the office, why did we train on that? Why did I learn that and figure that out and do that? So that when we had gaps in our schedule, we could call somebody else. That's beautiful for LSA. You leave an opening. If nobody takes it, you call your reschedule list and you fill it. So you at least leave one of your crews or one opening, so that if you're booked that busy, hire more, put 2 people in a truck so you can do a little bit more, free up the schedule, do something, because these people aren't going to wait. So now you're paying for a phone call you can't convert, you can't book because of you, not them. How do you set it up? We won't spend a lot of time on this, but if you work with us, we do it for you. There's a lot of steps. You just got to go through it. You got to be patient, right? So this is what it looks like when you go to ads.google.com/local-service-ads, right? That's where you go to sign up. You have to have a Google ad account. They're going to help you set one up. If you don't, you have to have a Google business profile, or you can't, and you have to have reviews. Right? So you got to complete the application. You got to do a background check. They're guaranteeing you, right? You can't be on the terrorist watch list, obviously, right? License check, personal background check. Pinkerton Consulting is who does it. Verify your business insurance, not your vehicle insurance. You have to have liability. If you damage something in the house, Google needs to know. That's why they're helping guarantee you're a legit business. I've the number of people we've put through this and go, I don't have business liability insurance. Oh my gosh, that's scary. Absolutely scary, right? You break the Ming vase in a customer's home without business liability insurance. Somebody slips on a wet rug coming off the carpets onto the hard floor and breaks their leg, and you don't have business insurance? Nah, don't be in business then. You haven't figured out what you're doing. It's a hobby. Business owners and all technicians must complete the background. There's a way around this all technicians thing. That's what they require. There's a little bit of nuance. Once approved, if active in your area, you will pay on a pay per lead business, right? So we've seen that between $25 and $65 and going up. 25 on the very low end, very rare these days. Normally 40s, 50s, 60s per phone call. What if you book 1 out of every 10 phone calls because you suck on the phones? You don't answer the calls. It goes to answering machine. You still get charged, right? That's on you. Understanding scripts, understanding influence and a little bit of psychology, and being able to educate as you give the answers they want. Let's little dance. Understand that. You get to that 40, 45%, 50% booking percentage. You just bought a customer for Again, 25 on the low end. So that would be the phone call. You bought a customer for 50 to 130 bucks. That's still good all day long. If your average price is about 350, 375, right? 375 works really good. You're a 3-to-1 ROI, even at that level, because of you on the phones. Good math. Prices will vary by city, type, message, all that kind of stuff. And it should be adjusted constantly. You do not set it for maximum calls, maximum conversions. It should be managed actively. Once you're ready to go, you've got your proof of insurance, done the background check, you've got the customer reviews, it's connected to your Google Business Profile, and you have enough reviews. We'll talk about this in a second, because whether you get called and where you show up, there's a big part of it is that as well. You've got your budget set. Again, my best suggestion is don't be stingy on this. We suggest wide open. Google loves you. And then if you do all the other stuff we talk about, well, this is a great pull in the water. And then your billing information. How does Google rank you? Proximity is a big one. I'm in Google local service ads. I want to show up on 100 miles away from my office. I put targeted that territory. Google goes, yeah, I don't care. I got lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of businesses that also are in local service ads. Just as good as you or better than you, a whole lot closer. Why would they like you over them? It's not an agency's issue. It's not a setup issue. It's a proximity issue. So Google knows where you are and creates a bit of a radius. Google Maps knows where you are. You don't rank 100 miles away, 50 miles away, even if you do everything right in Google Maps. You're lucky to be 5, then 10 miles. That's why we always say, make sure that your office location or the one that you give Google is really close to your ideal client. If your ideal client's in Golf Course Road, you better be all Golf Course Road adjacent. Because that way, this growing Google Maps presence that takes a lot of time and effort is at least bearing fruit. Local service ads are tied to that same radius because they're tied to your Google Business Profile, your Google Maps, your review score, and the number of reviews you receive. Review velocity matters in Google Maps, not total count. Review velocity, ratings, 4.9, 4.8, 4.7. People trust 4.7 to 9 more than they trust 5.0, just so you know, especially the higher your review count goes. Nobody's perfect. Everybody knows that. They believe it's fake if you look perfect, right? Your responsiveness to customer inquiries within 2 rings. 2 rings. Answer text messages and emails, if you have messages turned on, within about 20 seconds or less. Can't do that. Google uses AI as of summer of 2025 now to make responsiveness one of the key factors. No matter how much money, how great your review score is, business hours are an obvious one. So budget, reviews, proximity, responsiveness, those kinds of things, right? If you end up with repeat complaints, they're obviously going to kick you off the platform or just not show you. So Google will also attempt to spread out leads over time based on your budget, prevent you from spending your entire budget early in the budget period. If an ad generates leads more quickly than your budget can accommodate, they will back off. Google will. The AI will. They know that. So we'd say, don't put a budget on it. Wide open. So at least you give Google a great budget. You've got lots of reviews and reviews coming in, right, from the customers that came through and elsewhere. You've got the proximity. You're only targeting the right immediate area. If you want to target farther, John, I want to target a whole town over. Yep, I would probably suggest you set up an office and a second business over there. That would be my suggestion. So that you can run local service ads over there. Right? How does AI help enhance this? So AI enhances you can be faster, more accurate lead handling. I would suggest that if you're using, if you've got local service ads on, you're answering in 2 rings, you can use AI to answer your phones. Our industry, not as good as an industry where it is an intake. We need your information. The lawyer will call you back. That's a little bit more of an understood. In cleaning, they expect to call and talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. If you're the guy in the truck, do not answer your phones. Find a stay-at-home mom, somebody who can answer your phones for you, a trained call center that knows how to do carpet cleaning calls and sell to high-end people, not discounts. They actually understand how to sell a better job because they understand scripts and all that kind of stuff, right? But you can use AI a little bit. If you're super busy and you want it as a third number rollover, we provide that as a service. If you want the messaging so that when somebody sends you a message lead, that conversation starts with a fully trained agentic receptionist that you can then get alerted and jump in on, but you didn't miss the initial, right? So that there's a right way to do it, but you want to build that trust with potential clients. You're not going to say, this is Nancy. Hi, this is the virtual assistant, Nancy. All of our humans, all the staff is currently busy right now. But I'm fully trained to help you. What can I help you with? There's ways around it like that. Is it as good as live? No. Humans in the loop, always better. But it gives you an ability to not piss Google LSA off by not answering your phones. Now you're demoted. Or, like the more calls you miss, the more they go, I'm not going to give that guy any more calls, right? Obviously. So no answer machines, period. Improve conversion rates. Aligns with Google's AI-driven rankings. So the key features 2025. You can have smart auto response, but you do want to follow up. Not everybody books. What do you do when somebody doesn't book? This is that core forever engine we're talking about. This is you've got to build your more money, more often retention engine to keep the customers you get. You've got to build your lead nurture engine that stays in touch with them till they buy or die. Sounds crude. Way to think about it. Right from the moment let me think about it. Maybe. Maybe does not mean no, and maybe does not mean let them go think about it. Maybe means let me nurture them in a meaningful, welcome guest, not annoying pest way until they are ready to buy from you. Maybe this time they bought from somebody else. If you stay nurturing them in the right way, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months from now, they need a service provider and they hated the other guy. They just didn't choose you this time, but you stayed on them. That's business growth. That helps you survive everything happening in our economy these days. Call and message analysis. That's another use of AI. Do you listen to all your calls and have AI recommend better ways you or your staff can respond? Can you train the AI for better ways? AI doesn't know what you mean, what should be better, right? AI is what they call a regression to the mean. It knows everything. So everything means that the middle ground is actually meh, right? It's a regression to the mean. The average is kind of pretty meh, right? So a well-trained AI sales assistant, right? Sales manager, coach, well-trained, can give you advice to help you improve your scripts and data and insights. You definitely need to know your numbers. Definitely need to know numbers. What is your booking percentage? With our clients, what we do is we listen to the calls. We have AI running in the background. We have real people listening to the calls as well. The last bit, did you book? Did you not book? What do you do? We don't know when you follow up because that's on you. But what we do know is the front end. We can actually all of our clients, we give them a full ROI report on the front end and then say, hey, your booking percentage is only 28%. Our average across all of our clients is 42, 45, 47, whatever it is. You're off by this much. You want some script training. Do you need some help with this? We only work with cleaning companies, so we know exactly how to do this. John wrote the book on it, wrote the course on it, trained it. We know this, right? Do you want help with that to get you up to that level? Your average booking is on $220. There's competitors in your area that their average booking is $400, $500, $600. How do we know? Because we audited and managed and got the data insights on them. So we know, and we can find, you should know your numbers because your numbers tell you what to do. If your average job went from $450 down to $300 over the last year and you didn't even track it, your business dropped by 30%. And you might think it's a lead problem because you think that you need more leads when it's actually a dollar per job problem that's cutting massively into your profits, not just revenue, profits, right? So data drives everything. The best practice for AI powered leads: use pre-built templates for common questions. Just have them ready, have your staff know them, right? So regularly review AI generated responses for accuracy. So if it's text and you've got templates and accuracy, so especially message leads, train AI with business specific FAQs and tone. You have to create an actual knowledge base, and then you train it and iterate it and get it better and better and better based on when it screws up. Combine AI with human oversight. Ensure privacy compliance, avoid sensitive info in any AI replies. You want to make sure you have your safeguards and all that kind of stuff. You don't give an AI chat bot or voice bot, go scan my website and then become my receptionist. Could you imagine, hey, day one of hiring a receptionist to your office? Yeah, just go read our website. You'll know everything. Leave you to it. I'm going golfing. Tell me how well that would work out, because that's what most people think building an AI agentic system is. It's not, right? The biggest LSA mistake that costs you leads. What is your leaky bucket? Slow response times, not answering within 1 to 2 rings, ignoring messages, leaving them on red. Both of these, Google will demote you. You'll also not get anything you want out of LSA. Poor reviews, low review rating, low review volume, incomplete profile, missing information, not good pictures, not the right pictures. There's a psychology. An image tells 1,000 words. Are you using the right images to tell 1,000 words? Do you know what the first 3 to 5 images should be? Right? Thinking that marketing ends when the phone rings. Marketing does not end when the phone rings. The real opportunity begins after the first contact. How are you nurturing the other half of the people? If you are booking at 45, 50%, how are you nurturing the other half of the people to get 20, 30, 40% of those to also come back? Every call, not just LSA, every call you don't book today should get an email and a message and a text message and a phone call tomorrow, bare minimum. That's bare minimum. They should actually be chased for the next 12 to 14 days, meaningfully, in a welcoming, warm cadence. That's better marketing. Why? Because at least doing the minimum viable, you will double your booking percentage. Now this is hugely profitable. Do what I just said, and you will expand way beyond that. Your conversion rate comes from how you do it today and how you do it over the next 5 to 7 interactions that a lot of people need before they're ready to make a buying decision. How to win with local service ads. Dial in your service area. We talked about that. It ain't 100 miles. Dial in your profile and dial in your budget. What that means is be as big and expansive as you possibly can be. Be willing to leave it wide open because you have openings available and you know how to run the system. Rate leads and manage scripts. Help AI on any unqualified calls. Like, go in the back end and just play around. Do your thing. Don't just, a lot of people just set it, forget it. I set it to maximum calls. I gave it my budget. I'm not looking at it again. That is not a strategy. There's nothing I just said that's a strategy to grow a business. Drive verified reviews. Target a 45% booking rate. Right? So you dial in your profile. Open it up, as I always said in the budget. Update your ad schedule. Set your business bio properly. See what it is. Set it up. Select your job types specifically. Set up your service area properly. Update your business hours exactly. Do not have LSA ads running when nobody's available to answer the phones. Add a lot of photos. Change them up regularly. Doesn't mean keep stacking them. You don't need 100 photos in there. Nobody's going to look at them. 10 photos, good number, right? But make sure that the photos tell a story and that they're recent and that they make people feel good. Most people are only going to see the first 2 or 3 photos. The rest of them are going to scroll. Tell a story. Tell a story in your photos. There's a little secret hack right there, just so you know. Mark your jobs as booked. When you book them, AI is going to try and listen to hear if you booked them, but when you do book them, even on a second or third follow-up, come back and mark it. If you book 75% of your jobs or 65% of your jobs, some of them on the call, some of them after the fact, and you come back and mark them booked, Google loves you more. They know they charged you for the call, and then you're good at converting. They are going to give you more. The algorithm is going to start working in your favor a little bit more than somebody else. So, right? So you're going to get a lot of diverse calls, and you get to play with that. You get to have a lot of conversations, go to work, and let the cream rise to the top, and have an entire system to retain, repeat, and referral. Home service, cleaning services are in the repeat and referral business, not the lead acquisition business. We started with that. I'm going to keep hammering that, right? Mark them as booked, add customer details, include the email, archive non-converted opportunities. It helps, just helps, right? Rate your leads. You won't be charged for disqualifying. Again, this is a hard one because Google keeps adding more and more AI and giving you less and less control over that. But there is a little bit of way with agencies that we can still help with that part of it. Drive verified reviews. Number of reviews as a major driver. Imagine you had 30 reviews and your competitor has 397 reviews and counting. And you both show up, everything else the same. You both show up in the search, and the customer is scrolling through local service ads. They're not going to hit more businesses. They're going to look at the first 2 or 3 that show up. Who gets the call? The guy with 397 or the guy with 30? All right? Think about it. That's just psychology. The number is better. That's bigger. I like bigger, right? We could just baby Huey this whole thing, right? The average customer is just making that lump. If the other guy's got 3.7 star rating and you've got a 4.9, now you got that. He might have 397, but 3.7. You got 30, but 4.9. You might have weighed your way into the conversation a little bit. Might have, right? So provide a great service experience. That's obvious. Deliver a service experience. Craft a service experience. Design a service experience. Know what's going to happen from the way over, phone the client on the way over, how your technician does that, how your office does that, how that's all done, how you arrive, how you show up, how you deliver your consultative selling experience. That should be storybooked or story branded. That should be storyboarded. That should be rehearsed with your staff. I used to have my guys knock on the front door. We're going to do some role playing. I hate role playing, John. So do I. Right? I'm going to be Mrs. Jones. Hello. They laugh. They close the door. Let's try it again. Let's try that again. We taught our technicians how to deliver an ideal client experience. Disney teaches the person giving you a fountain drink, the guy sweeping the yard in central casting, not HR, how to deliver an amazing client experience. Drive verified reviews. We know that already, right? So when you deliver a great client experience, you're going to drive more reviews. That's the point, right? You do all those things well. You want a lot of Google reviews coming from people, all your customers, including the ones that went through local service ads. You want to target a 45% booking rate? It will tell you if you fill out your form properly. If you want to increase your lead flow, again, Google's going to cap you, especially early on, until they trust you. Your mom might love you, but Google doesn't love you yet. They need to learn to love you. You want to open up your budget, right? You want to expand your service area or your service area, job type, schedule, all that to the right area to increase. You might want to add a second Google business profile in a town over 30 miles away, 20 miles away, and have it build it up. That's a strategy done well with a good secondary satellite office. You want to close out every lead in the tool. You don't have to do any of these things. Just let me tell you, your competitors that are beating you are. You don't have to. There's no rules. You can choose to not run a great business and not get more work and not understand anything I've shared here. But if you do want to add this as a viable pole in the water, stay viable as the market changes all around us, continue to grab the right wiggly fish that go into your bucket, become part of your repeat and referral retention engine because you have one and you just want more of those so your business grows, not shrinks as the world descends into chaos around us. Maybe you might want to do this, right? That's just the point. Request verified reviews. We talked about that. So what should you do now? Get with a strategic partner, right? Learn a little bit more. Make sure you're signed up. Get the process started. If you don't, we can help you with that. Complete your background checks. Put tracking in place so that not just Google's tracking, but actually have your own as well. We like to put people through Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro, and then at least we know the phone number of the person who called and we can hear the call, right? We can add some AI into that then if somebody wants to add that on, right? You can have Amanda to answer the phones. Don't recommend it if you can answer your own phones, but as a third number rollover and stuff like that, or after hours. Don't run LSA after hours necessarily, but you can actually run pay-per-click after hours. Amanda can answer the phones. That's the name of the agent that we build out on the front end. But we also have Audrey, who is a lead chase, and like done well, you need an agent team, right? Be sure that you are leveraging the platform. Google Local Service Ads. Google creates its own platform. You want to be leveraging that, right? You want to create lifetime value. That is really the most important thing, right? You get an inquiry, fast response, book the job, you have a happy customer. None of that builds lifetime value yet. Lifetime value now does a great client experience and amazing follow-up to make them love you again and again. Understand that every month that goes by that you are not in touch with your ideal customer that you want back in a home service business that is a retention business, you lose at least 10% of their brain trust. They're starting to drift. They don't love you as much as your mom does. So growth is not about getting more leads. It's about getting more value from every lead. A lead is not revenue. A booked job isn't the goal either. The real goal is creating a client that comes back and tells everyone again and again. Strong relationships plus constant database nurturing. Minimum once a month, more often is better. Creates lasting client, done well, done properly. It's not just spam, done well, creates real growth and maximum lifetime value. Did you know that most cleaners have about a 10 to 20% return rate of customers for an average of 1 to 2 extra jobs? So they make about $1,000 per customer. The very best cleaning companies have a 50% retention rate for about $15,000. Their businesses grow into the millions because that compounds. If you look at your numbers any given week, month, quarter, or year, and your repeat and referral rate is not about 60%, you don't have a business that can grow. It's not a growth engine. You are a lead, first time, one time only churn engine. How do you get there? That is back-end systems. That is learning how to build a proper business. Lifetime value simply means how much one customer or client is worth. Again, client is repeat over the entire relationship with your business. You don't measure a customer's first invoice. You measure them by everything they will buy over time. And you do that by understanding your database really, really well. There's a lot of cool little techniques you can use to figure out the lifetime value of your average client and your average repeat rate. You need to know those numbers if you're running a meaningful business. One customer can be worth thousands as a client. Here's an example. First cleaning, $350. Furniture cleaning, 6 months later, $600. I got the sectional, couch, and love seat done. Tile cleaning, a year later. Area rug. Oh, you guys do area rugs? Cool. Yes. Annual repeat on some of this stuff. You've done these all once. You come back and there's an annual sort of repeat on a few items and a few items and a few items, right? Actually, on a customer like this, the annual repeat would probably be closer to about $800, but whatever. You just made $4,500, right? Lifetime value. Refer their neighbors, refer their family, leave your reviews. On the low end, customers should be nurtured and developed into repeat and referral clients worth thousands of dollars. That's the only reason why you're in business. You're not in the the customer acquisition lead churn business. You are in the ideal client retention business. Will this make you more money? So let's recap. What's new? We talked about that. How has AI fundamentally changed local search? The biggest mistake that will cost you leads. We talked about that, and turning more LSA acquirers into lifetime value. So we met our 4 promises. We went through that very, very deeply. Did you have any takeaways? I talk to people all the time. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of carpet cleaners. Some of them have never become a student of business. Other ones have become massive students. They know everything. Oh, John, I know everything you just said. Cool. How much have you got implemented? Oh, none. I don't really have time to implement, John. If you don't have time to work on your business, you don't have a business. In the business is not running a business. In the business is you bought yourself a job and it sucks. And it's going to get worse. Your knees are going to get sore. Your back's going to get sore. The economy is going to change. You're going to be up and down like a yo-yo. It ain't easy. Most businesses don't make it. Like 96% don't make it 10 years. It's not easy. How do you make it? You implement. You learn something. You have the right people you follow. You have the right team. You're in the right rooms. You have the right community. You have an accountability group, right? You take these ideas, you write them down, and you implement one of them by the end of the day today. Get it started. You move forward. You understand how to implement. You have an implementation process. I call it implementation is everything, and we teach it. Marketing is not a side activity. It is the business you are in. You are the marketer of cleaning services, the director of marketing. You don't have to be the guy knowing how to do all of it. If you know how to do all of it, run a marketing company. You are the director of the marketing, chief marketing officer in your company. You understand what that means. You're growing into that role. You don't have to go to university for that. You can be Ron Wood in a Rolling Stones cover band and still figure this out. You put things in place. You scale, you stack. You don't do this for a while, stop that, do this for a while. You're stacking. That's the more poles in the water. Because right now, AI is changing everything. Everybody thought, oh, I could just get ChatGPT to write me 50 articles a day and I'm going to rank. Nope. AI killed, or Google killed all that. We knew it. There's no game. You be real. But it's the great equalizer because it's easier and easier and easier to get answers. It's easier and easier and easier to look like a commodity. The winners will be authentic, trusted businesses with human relationships that then people find you online. AI finds you online and recommends you because you're real, right? You got to stand for something different and compelling. You cannot be the same as everybody else. You don't go look at the truck mount, the other clients or the other companies. You don't go on the forums. You don't listen to those and go, oh, I'm going to do that. I don't know what I'm doing, but he must. That is not intentional marketing. The best known cleaner wins over anybody with discounts and deals. The best known anything wins. Grant Cardone, it's better to be best known than to be best. You got to be competent, but you don't have to be the best. You have to be the best known. How do you do that? That even works in like think of celebrity. Think like it doesn't matter if you had a sex tape. It doesn't matter if you got arrested half the time, right? Probably can't murder somebody, put them in a suitcase and in the back of your car and then fly across the world, like whatever that dude's name was, the rapper or whatever. But your celebrity status seems to grow the more known you are. So if it works in that messy world towards humans, guess what it does in our world, right? If no one knows who you are, a great offer doesn't matter. Customers don't buy based on price alone. And it's usually about 5th, 6th, 7th on the list when they're surveyed, even in carpet cleaning. They buy based on trust and respect first. The best customers, these guys. And then they call you back over and over and over again. These guys don't give a crap about anything I just said. They will beat you up. They will hate the work you did. They won't give you any respect. They will be difficult. They will want a discount. And they'll never call you back. They'll find the cheapest guy next time. These people understand more emotional intelligence. They understand you pay a little bit more, you get a lot better. Their furniture they bought is going to last a lot longer than this guy's. the house they bought, everything, right? They take pride in their stuff. We know who they are. We've all had them. Your marketing attracts the right. Oh, John, I don't get any of those. Your marketing attracts them. Your words, your psychology, your neuro-linguistic programming, whether you know what that is or not, it exists in everything you do and say. Every script, every van, every technician, every ad, it exists. And it's attracting one of these or the other. And it's repelling one of these or the other. There's an entire blueprint to build $1 million cleaning business, or a business that you can retire from, still have running, or make multiples of EBITDA and get out of when you're ready to exit for way more than the price of the truck. Don't be the 2%, 15.2.5. Don't be the 2% that sell their don't be the 98% that don't sell their business for more than the price of the truck. Be the 2% that actually sells the business for the equity value in the marketplace. And the equipment is meaningless. It's all leasable. So 2026 has been that watershed year. Everybody says 2027 is the oh shit moment. It's coming really fast. 2026 is the transition. This is the fork in the road, and we're all feeling it and seeing it. We know it exists. I showed you at the front there with the robots, right? The way people buy, work, and experience life has already changed. If it hasn't caught up in your world yet, it's coming. It's in a lot of other people's worlds. A year ago, January, 1% of the population even knew what ChatGPT was and was using it to answer questions, and what that was their intro to AI, right? It is their Kleenex brand of paper tissue, ChatGPT. Now, July of 2026, while we're doing this presentation, about 50 to 60%, fastest adopted technology in human history. And it's not slowing down, it's speeding up. And it's getting better and better and better every single week. It's no longer 6 months between model updates. It's like weeks between model updates. Why? Because the AI is creating its next best version. We've invented the venture, first time in history. So we do run a coaching program. Not a pitch for the coaching program, but if anything I said here makes holy crap, how do I figure all of this out? We can be on that Dunning-Kruger effect where you are naively confident that you know everything and can figure it out. Let's have this conversation a year from now and see how close you got. I couldn't. And the majority, 85% or more of all home service business owners, plumbers, roofers, whatever, can't and never did, because they're confident they know what they're doing and they're wrong. They're missing little gears and little moments because their confidence makes them believe, nah, I just know better. Prove it. Does your history prove it? So we do run a coaching program that we talk about this every Thursday night, tonight at 4:00. Kind of scheduled for an hour, tend to go 2. And we walk through the entire blueprint. We, like, not every week, we walk through pieces of it. We talk about it. Right now we're talking about parts of your core forever engine and your referral partner retention and how to approach and like all of that kind of stuff. It's all training that I learned from other people, that I've coached on for 20 years, that I've helped hundreds of businesses by this point go through and seen all variations of it. But know that when it's put in place well, piece by piece by piece, you're stacking towards those 47 poles in the water. It's probably more, 47, the one number I know, that all of them generate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 qualified inquiries a month times 47, right? That's where you want to go. Some of them are grassroots and zero cost, shoe leather. Some of them are more expensive, paid ads, every door mail. They all have a place in a season at the right time in your business. You don't run every door mail when you're $100,000 a month or a year business, but you can run every door mail when you're $60,000, $70,000 a month revenue. It's a great add-on for that. All the reasons we talked about already. So anyways, if you're interested in anything like that, reach out to us. It's by invite only. We have a community. We teach all the things you need to know to grow a proper cleaning business, because I ran them. Carpet cleaning, maid service, duct cleaning, janitorial, to the tune of millions of dollars as Ron Wood in a Rolling Stones cover band. Well, after that, sorry. Right. So you can go to blueprintforsuccesscoaching.com to learn more about it. right? You'll hear my story. You actually see the S10 pickup truck I started my business with. Me as John, 23, 24-year-old kid. You get to see baby John as well. All that kind of stuff on that page if you're interested. You can fill out an application. We can have a chat, right? Again, by invite only. We don't want deadbeats and losers. We want people that are willing to grow, be part of a community, be accountable, fall down, get back up again, work with each other, stuff like that. Just so you know. If there's anything we can talk about at all, carpetcleaningmarketingmasters.com/schedule. That's how you get on a consultation. I do charge hourly for paid consultations. I do provide free consultations, and we do a deep dive research, and we can do a growth plan and see that if there's anything that we can help with, any of this stuff, any marketing, any sort of AI implementations, things like that, we'll have that conversation. We'll provide that. There's no obligation. It's just, hey, where are you at? Where do you want to go? Yeah, let's see if we can help. Maybe I can point you in the right direction. That's it. So a couple places there. Blueprint for Success Coaching, 4, number 4. blueprintforsuccesscoaching.com. If you want to learn a little bit more about that, carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. If you want to jump on a chat with me, team will reach out to you, have a good chat with you, and then put you in my calendar. So with that said, hopefully you learned something here today. Hopefully you got something out of it. There's another one of our 90-minute sessions, roughly the range that we try and land in. So yeah, again, we talked about LSA, but we weaved it through the entire way to maintain and grow a proper business. It's not about more leads. This is a lead source, but it's about a great way to put more wiggly fish in your bucket, your forever engine, and your retention and referral engines. So if you've got those figured out, this is great. Anyways, I will let you guys go for now. Enjoy your day. Any comments, let us know. Share this with friends, family, anybody in any service business, other cleaners If you found this valuable, please let us know. Kind of like, follow, subscribe on whatever platform you're on. You're seeing this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever it is, live stream here, whatever. Let us know what you thought. It helps the algorithm, it helps us, and hopefully it helped you as well. So anyways, thank you for your time. Appreciate y'all. Take care.